The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Martin Luther King, Jr. When I spoke these words, I was not appealing to naive optimism, but to righteous conviction. I did not mean the arc bends on its own. No, history does not drift toward justice. It is bent by hands, by hearts, by courage made action. It bends when people stand, when they sacrifice, when they choose conscience over convenience, dignity over comfort, love over fear. I drew upon the words of Theodore Parker, a white abolitionist who believed, as I do, that justice is not a flicker, it is a fire that can illuminate generations. And I said it in a time when dogs and hoses greeted children in the streets of Birmingham, when the right to vote was shackled by literacy tests and Jim Crow cunning, when black mothers wept for their sons who would not return from the wrong side of a badge. And yet, I believed. I believed because I had seen the Red Sea parted by the footfalls of ordinary people who walked together. I had seen the jail become a pulpit, and the night become a cradle for dreams no bullet could kill. I believed because even when hatred roared, love refused to be silent. But let us be clear, the arc bends because someone bends it. Today I see a new era not unlike mine. I see marches, yes, but also memes. I see laws debated in courtrooms, but battles fought in comment threads. I see old hatred wearing new disguises, algorithmic bias, economic disparity, digital disinformation that makes lies feel like truth, and apathy feel like wisdom. I see the moral arc still stretching, but under strain. And so I say this now. Do not mistake progress for permanence. The right to vote, to breathe, to be seen, these are not trophies to be stored on history's shelf. They are responsibilities, handed from generation to generation, like torches passed in trembling hands. The arc does not bend because time passes. It bends because truth is proclaimed. It bends when we organize not just around protest but policy, when we engage not only with outrage but with outcomes, when we teach our children not only what was, but what could be, and how they must labor to make it so. Some will say, we've come so far, and I agree. But don't forget, the arc bends slowly. There are still those for whom justice is a whisper, not a promise. Still too many bowed beneath the weight of systems built not to uplift, but to exploit. Racism, poverty, violence, and the spiritual poverty that lets some feast while others hunger. These are not ghosts of the past. They are barriers of the present. But here is the good news. They can be moved. Because the arc is not fixed. It is responsive. It listens to the hands that pull, the voices that cry out, the feet that march, the ballots cast, the bridges built across difference. To the young people who inherit this unfinished world, I say, this is your chapter in the long story of justice. You may not see the end, but you must labor for it anyway. Not because victory is guaranteed, but because righteousness is always worthy. To the elders, I say, remember the blood that bought your rights. Honor it with vigilance, with voting, with mentorship, with truth. To the nation, I say, your greatness will not be measured in dollars or weapons, but in the justice you extend to your most vulnerable. And to the cynics, those who say the arc is broken, that justice is but a myth, I say, come stand with the dreamers. For though we grow weary, we are not finished. And though justice is delayed, it is not denied. The arc of the moral universe is long. It stretches beyond one life, one movement, one election, or one administration. It reaches across oceans and generations, across battles and ballots. And if we are brave, if we are faithful, if we are undeterred, then yes, it bends toward justice, but only if we keep bending it, together.